do not disrespect Mulan. Hi, thank you for clicking on the video, and I hope everyone is doing really well. All girls are princesses, or at least that's what the book A Little Princess taught me. Now, women want to look like princesses, but not just any princesses. I'm talking cartoon, animated, Disney princesses. I did a video a while back on a diet called the Sleeping Beauty diet, and I thought that one was bad. But today I present to you the princess diet. The first step of the princess diet is to figure out your Cinderella weight. This weight is basically your goal, the ideal princess weight in order to look like a cartoon princess. The equation is your height in meters squared times 18. So if I calculated correctly, my Cinderella weight, or my ideal weight to be a princess, is 88 pounds. When I saw that, I just thought to myself, been there, done that, it wasn't fun, so no thank you. The diet is 13 days long, and each day is themed based off of a Disney princess. So to begin, day one is Snow White, and on that day you are allowed to eat a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 6 apples. Day two is Cinderella, and the rule is 500 calories before noon, and that's it. Day three is basically the Sleeping Beauty diet. It is the Sleeping Beauty day, or Aurora, and this is where you sleep as much as possible, because remember, you can't eat if you are asleep. If you do feel hungry or feel like you need to consume something, you are allowed to drink tea or water. Day four is Ariel, and it's a water fast. So all you get to consume is water. Day five is Belle, and on this day, you're basically going to be doing a tea fast, and all you're consuming is tea. If you do feel slightly hungry, you are allowed to eat a small bowl of oatmeal. Day six is Jasmine, and you have to keep your calories under 400 for the entire day, and you are only allowed to eat 1 cup of rice and steamed vegetables. Day seven, Pocahontas, and you get no more than 1 cup of corn. Day eight is Mulan, and you get 1 cup of rice for lunch and 1 cup of rice for dinner. Day nine is Tiana, and you eat 3 bell peppers that day, 1 for breakfast, 1 for lunch, and 1 for dinner. Day 10 is Rapunzel, and for breakfast you get 1 tablespoon of golden honey, and then for lunch and dinner you are allowed to eat as many leafy greens as you want, just as long as you keep the calories no more than 300 for the entire day. Day 11 is Merida, and on this day for breakfast you get 1 cup of berries, and for lunch you get 3 ounces of salmon, and then your allowed drink for the day is tea. Day 12 is Anna, or Anna. I think she's from Frozen, which I've never seen, so I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Sorry. And on this day, you get to have as many cups of warm broth as you want, and 1 chocolate bar, but your calories have to stay under 600. Day 13 is Elsa, and it's another water fast, but instead of water, it is 64 ounces of ice. Just reading through the rules for these 13 days makes me miserable. I can't imagine forcing myself to suffer through that. This diet piqued my interest because I'm a fan of princesses. I like to think of myself as a princess of sorts. So it's something that, you know, it appeals to me, and I think that's a big problem with it, is it appeals to girls because girls want to be, I don't want to say all girls, but a lot of girls want to be princesses. They want to be treated like princesses, and now they just want to look like them. And first of all, my first big critique of this diet is I found majority of the information on it on a pro-anorexic website, and normally I source, or I post the links to the sources that I use in the description of my videos, but it's a pro-ana site. It's dangerous, it's unhealthy, it can really mess with your mindset, so I am not going to link it. But that is where I found it. And I think that's a big red flag from the beginning, because obviously it is a starvation diet. It is leading to anorexia. It is anorexia, especially because it's being encouraged on sites like those. The diet is obviously dangerous, and not just because it's starvation and it is detrimental to your health, which I will touch on, but I think there's a bigger problem, or just as equal problem, and that is it idolizes cartoons. It's one thing to want to look like a celebrity or a musician or an artist or even a sports figure, an athlete. It's one thing to love and idolize and look up to and want to be like and look like those types of people. They're real. Those people are real. Cartoons aren't real. They're not realistic. They have been drawn. And they could have been drawn any way, but the artist chose for reasons to draw those princesses that certain way. They could have drawn those princesses any way they wanted, but there's a reason why they drew them. And they're clearly unrealistic for us humans to look like that. They're not real humans. And I think it's really dangerous to idolize a drawing, because drawings can be manipulated. They can look any which way. Just because the drawing depicts a human doesn't mean it's realistic or achievable. If you were to achieve that physique or that look of that drawing, that means that you had to have done something unnatural or invasive. This diet was clearly created by someone who hates themselves, and it is made for people like them, people who are self-loathing, people who want to be perfect, and they see these images as perfection, and they think this is their way of getting to perfection. And they hate themselves so much that they are willing to torture themselves. This is self-mutilation in a way. They are willing to do that to achieve some higher level of perfection. This diet is starvation. It is. When you eat under your necessary caloric needs for the day, when you eat under that, it's starvation. You're starving your body of nutrients, and you are starving yourself of a fuller life, a healthy, happy life. Starvation diets are so dangerous and so unhealthy, not just to your physical health, but to your mental health. I cannot emphasize it enough. When you starve your body, you are not just starving your body, you are starving your mind. You are deteriorating your mind, your ability to think straight, to make good choices and decisions, to progress in life. You are single-handedly destroying the thing that makes you you. Diets like these put a huge strain on your muscles and your organs, especially your heart, raising your risk of heart failure. Your immune system will weaken, meaning you're more likely to get sick, and you'll stay sick for longer. Your body starts to lose its ability to keep you well, to keep you fully alive. I remember there was times when I would get sick, and it might just be a simple cold, but for me, it was like I was dying because my body just couldn't fight off disease. Starvation diets mess with your hormone production, meaning it messes with your metabolism, it messes with your digestive system, and it prevents your body from being able to carry out normal everyday functions. And of course, I think with every single diet that I review and critique, I always have at least one petty little criticism about the diet. Something that, okay, it's not a huge deal. And in this diet's case, it was when I was reading through the daily rules and I got to the day that was about Mulan, which, first of all, Mulan is one of my all-time favorite Disney movies of all time. Love it so much. So when it got to the Mulan, they misquoted the movie. They took a actually really ingenious quote from the movie, something that is very true and actually very pure at its core, and they twisted the meaning of it to make it mean something so horrible. They made a quote that is kind of almost a theme of the movie, and they made it just ugly and deadly, and they manipulated it to continue their sick agenda. The quote is, "A single grain of rice can tip the scale." I don't think I need to explain the direction that these pro-Anna sites took that quote and misquoted it. That quote means that one person, it just takes one person to be an inspiration, to be a leader for change, a leader of good, or that person can tip towards chaos. It just takes one person and one decision. It does not mean a literal scale that measures body weight. Do not disrespect Mulan. And this clearly misquoting of this movie is disrespectful. So I'm gonna end it there. This was the Princess Diet. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. I hope you steer clear of this diet at all costs because it's sick and it can make you sick. If you made it this far, please give this video a thumbs up. For more videos about eating disorders, eating disorder recovery, diets, nutrition, and all that good stuff, please subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye! Okay, looks good. Think I'm ready for the day.